Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
Thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
I have a lot of gratitude. I saw you last in London, November, and I'm the person like I told I've lost everything, and I'm very happy, and I came home, and you gave me an advice not to put conditioning, and I followed that. And I'm always in presence, so thank you so much for that. My life is unfolding very beautifully at the moment, and I'm so grateful for that. While I was having all the problems, I used to get, the universe used to guide me, to do Gayatri mantra to my chakras, and I started following that. That made me be in the truth and go towards the truth. And I have a guidance. I want to just teach this to people, so to everybody who are drawn towards truth, to do Gayatri mantra on your chakra, so that you remain, you go towards the truth rather than go away from the truth. So I want your blessings for that, Mooji.
First of all, I want to say it like this, because we are speaking here so directly now. I don't want to put anything between. There's no between. I'm going to debunk a lot of these things. That even sometimes to say, what obstructs our journey to truth is not ultimately true. We are the true. I know that it's not easy to grasp that. If you believe that we have a strong belief in our identity as a person and as a seeking person, a person seeking after truth, and we have to work with that as much as there is space in that to move into a greater space, then I will work with that. But where there is the space to point directly, I will take that opportunity as much as I can, like that. And even to speak about the chakras, the chakras can only appear in the awareness itself. You see? Awareness has no chakras. If you know this thing, then you're going to save yourself a lot of exercise. Isn't it? And then this chakra now coming up this one, oh yes, we'll bring it, you're coming closer to the truth like this and this one. No, when you can grasp what I'm speaking, you'll see that you are, all these efforts is to try and find the one who is watching them. Can I speak like that? Can we be simple like that?
Yeah.
All the efforts also, whatever efforts you make, is also watched in you. Where are they trying to get to, the efforts? What are they trying to do? To find a truth greater than the one who perceives the efforts being made? It would have to be a truth that we are imagining. The awareness itself absorbs all the exercise, all practices and so on. I speak not against any practice. Let you practice if you want. I am not against any religion. Let all religions be there. They are all, actually all of them are encompassed in the awareness itself. You see? And there is no cynicism about that. Because some parts have to be walked genuinely for a while. But there are some also who are able to cut beyond. There are some teachers, some masters, some saints and so on. They have to send sometimes their own students to another teacher. Because one, they will send to somebody who will teach more discipline and so on. Because this devotee, this seeker, needs that discipline. And then another one they will send to maybe a master who can push directly. That's all. Because you're ready for that. And then to put you, it would be like, say, for instance, some students, maybe they're the same age, but there's one of them whose abilities can be sitting with people 5 years older than them. Then if you keep them in the same class, they're bored and they start to cause trouble because you have not given them the opportunity to express, you see, their capacity. So there has to be each according to their capacity. Some people now, the capacity, they don't even know their capacity. Then the master looks and feels them and say, actually, you don't need to bother with that. No? Try this. And then, boom, boom, they're, I knew this, but I was told I had to do this. No. You forget about that now. You're fine. Now the student in turn now must not go out and say, oh, forget about all of those things, you only have to do that. No, because they have to also grow in that maturity to discern which one you can say needs this type of training. Some people need this. Most people, they come here, I'm already taking it for granted, you're ready. We are ready, you see. At least if you're here after a few days, you are more ready. Isn't it? Because maybe for the first few days we're just defrosting, and slowly the mind is coming into the energy field of the heart vibration, what I call heart vibration. Sometimes mind is too high in its psychological or mental vibration, emotional vibration, and when you're in that state, you will not understand me. I'll just see like I'm talking mumbo jumbo over you. Gradually, as it sort of drops more inside, then it reaches a certain space where it's in synchronicity to what I call more like the heart's vibration, and then you understand intravenously. You just understand. You say, wow, it's very clear, very clear. Very often we are going at life here, upstairs, too much. You're trying to work things out, force things using manipulations and so on, because you have not integrated your mind into your heart energy, you see. So I prefer to take a risk with you and say, okay, before we start to do these exercises, because the mind likes these exercises as well. The ones that has all these things, vasanas and chakras and blue lights and so like this, because we like it's a kind of we like this. Whereas I point you to the awareness, and sometimes the mind itself sometimes avoiding awareness, because the mind is saying all that you see, all that you perceive in this part of the eyes or behind the eyes in the field of emotion and time and mind and so on, all of that belong to me. No one can steal them from me. I eat all that stuff. But I cannot eat awareness, you see. Awareness neutralizes my power. You see. So I prefer to get you into this place where that psychological mind, it has no power against you. And so this feeling of putting a condition between the self and the self, I don't want to do it. Sometimes we have to say, okay, maybe some of this work, but the idea of getting you more towards the self, for me, it's not so appealing, Not so appealing to get you more towards the self, When I look at you, I'm looking at the self. When you speak, you are saying that you're not the self. And then we say, okay, let's see where we meet about this. And why we think we are not yet the self. Then I can see why, and very clearly also you can see, that it is a lot to do with our conditioning and belief and like this. So I don't want to put more beliefs there. I want to say if we can bypass belief into direct experience, is better. Then you can see from your heart, But sometimes I find that I'm fighting with years old tradition. You see, we are so loyal to our, our conditioning, and don't want to give it up. You see, so this is the only thing that makes it difficult. Because I say also, the truth is simple, but the seeker of truth is complex. You see, and as long as he believes in himself, this is where the difficulty is. But the truth is beyond simple, because it is already ever established, you see. And it is such joy for me to want to remind like that, and show also, to show. Wherever you have the capacity to see it, then we do, to look. Because I'm not a lecturer. Just to point out, also even now, while you're sitting here, it is being pointed out from inside you. You see? Yeah. First, you be fully established in the self. And then whatever is going to happen is just arising spontaneously out of it. Spontaneously, see? If you study and learn as a person, you can only function as a person. Maybe a good person, a skilled person, something like that. But when you awaken to your truth, you are moving like a whole environment. You see? When something arises to be done, something is recognized, and a movement begins, and as that movement begins, other movements join it. And it becomes a river, actually. I'm telling you, every word is true about it. Where it needs to have, then you yourself are seeing how the forces are coming in, even. Everything is part of it. Then you are actually looking at this whole matrix of life and seeing that it's the one, it's all the one doing it. You're not thinking that, you are actually seeing. You're seeing with the God eyes. You say, oh wow, then what does little me have to do anything at all? You know, it's all being done. I have the chance to experience all of this because also in this body the creative activity of consciousness is moving also, so it's my joy also moving. It would be my heart's joy if every single one whose heart was open to it find it and discover. I don't see any real impediment to it, except a kind of stubbornness or an identity, and there's fear, and all these things it can break up, because these fears, they are nothing new. None of them is greater than the self. And they may come again from time to time. And you will use them also as great mirrors to look into your own self. It's going to be a very great season here. Has to be.
Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you.